Colonel Marcos,
Yes, sir.
how long have you been in the service?
Bali, nag-30 years, sir, nung May 2, sir.
30 years and May 2. Out of the 30 years, how long have you been with CIDG?
Since July 2016 up to present, sir.
Hindi mo sinasagot yung tanong ko eh. Gusto
Sorry,
mo pa mag-addition pa ako o mag-subtraction eh.
16,
Kaya ako nga
17,
tinatanong
18,
sa'yo, ikaw dapat nakakaalam kung ilang taong ka na sa CIDG.
8 years, sir.
8 years. Continuous yun or may break?
Continuous na naman po, sir, except nung na-restrict, si IDG pa rin naman ko nung restrictive custody ako, pero until sa time na nakulong kami for 4 months, pero ano kami, sir, automatic leave of absence, pero si IDG pa rin yung unit namin.
Gerald Torre, is Gerald Ernia present? Kindly please take your seat. Have you taken your oath, Sidney?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Kindly take your oath. Comsec.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this public inquiry? So help you God.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Comsec. Gerald Ernia, how long should a police officer stay in a certain position, pursuant to your rules and regulations?
In our existing policy, Your Honor, for key positions like CIDG, as regional chief, the maximum tenure is 2 years, Your Honor.
That's the maximum. But you
Maximum,
can relieve, you have been relieving people even if they've stayed there in that position for only 1 year.
That's possible, Your Honor.
It's happening. It's not possible. It has happened.
Yes, it's happening, Your Honor.
Yes. Hindi, huwag mong sabihin na it's possible kasi ginagawa ninyo eh. Now, Gerald Torre, is that also your policy at the CIDG? Are you following the policy of your national headquarters?
Yes, sir.
And may I know why Colonel Marcos is still occupying that post?
Sir, he is already relieved, sir, since 2 days ago, sir.
2 days ago. So wala na.
Yes, sir.
So ngayon nyo lang sinunod. Nung dumating ka, saka lang nasunod yung policy. Kasi nung panahon ni... kasi tinanong ko rin yan nung nandito si General Karamat eh. And he was not able to remove Colonel Marcos from that post. Kaya tinatanong ko. Thank you. Now, kanina, Colonel Marcos, you stated na yung 5.1 billion na financial transaction ay nanggaling sa AMLAC na kumausap sa iyo sa isang seminar. Pangalawa, nung nautusan ni Gerald Ubusan na pumunta yung mga AMLAC representatives doon sa lugar mo, sa jurisdiction mo. Tama? Yun ang sinagot mo kanina, Colonel Marcos, di ba?
Sir, pardon po, sir. Hindi ko na masyadong maklarify yung question. Pasensya na po.
Sinusundan ko lang yung katanungan kanina ni the Honorable Paduano. Ang sinagot mo kanina tungkol dun sa 5.1 billion na financial transaction ni Mr. Kerwin Espinosa ay nanggaling sa dalawang AMLAC representative. Na una, sinabi sa iyo sa isang seminar. Pangalawa, binago mo, sinabi nung dalawang AMLAC representative nung inutusan o sinabihan ni General Ubusan na pumunta sa iyo sa jurisdiction mo. Tama?
Opo, sir. Tama po, sir.
Oh.
Ang
Would you-
pangalan po niya, sir, Attorney Joseph Tambago.
Bakit
yung
kanina
isa, sir.
nung tinatanong ka ni Honorable Paduano, Kwan?
Sir,
Hindi mo masagot-sagot kanina.
nagtanong po ako sa mga kapwa RC ko nung panahon po ni General Ubusan. Kaya po nakuha ko na po yung pangalan.
Well, so sinasabi mo na yung financial transaction na worth 5.1 billion ay AMLAC ang nagsabi.
Yes, sir. AMLA po. Taga-AMLA po, sir.
Kanina, lumabas yung 5.1 billion transaction na yon dahil nakasama sa ebidensya nyo na nakuha sa raid na ginawa nyo. Now, alin na po ang totoo?
Bali po, sir.
Hindi, tinatanong kita, alin ang totoo dun sa dalawa? Kasi dalawa ang statement mo eh.
Nag-umpisa po yung...
Kanina, ang sinabi mo doon sa pagtatanong ng isa sa aking mga kasamahan, doon sa raid na ginawa ninyo, ay nakita ninyo yung mga dokumento na merong 5.1 billion transaction. Pero nung si Honorable Paduano ang nagtatanong sa iyo, sinabi mo, AMLAC ang nagsabi sa iyo. Definitely, Colonel Marcos, you're lying.
Based on the figure po yan.
You want me to get the records or the minutes of this hearing?
Sir,
Kahit na may edad ako sa iyo, pero matalim pa rin yung aking pag-iisip.
Sir, pwede pa ko mag-explain ng konti, sir?
Hindi, sagutin mo muna ako. Alin ang totoo dun sa dalawa? Yun ang tanong ko, hindi mo pa sinasagot eh. And I can cite you for contempt.
Bali po, sir.
If you fail to answer, because under Section 11, failure to answer any question from any representative of this House will merit contempt.
Totoo po yun, sir, na...
Alin ang totoo?
Totoo po yun, sir, na binigay ng AMLA yung information sa figure, pero totoo din po, sir, na based sa raid ni Espinido, doon namin nakuha ang impormasyon sa Blue Oceanic Corporation Textile na binigay namin si AMLA para tingnan, kasi silang na lang naman, sir, ang nakakakita sa bangko kung magkano, sir, ang laman. Di po wala kaming idea during that time na raid, nung pinaila namin ng kaso, ang meron lang kami, yung pangalan lang ng corporation. So binigay po namin yan sa AMLA, sila po ang nag-imbestiga kasi wala pong kapas ang PNP. Kaya later on, sir, nung nakita kami...
May naunang nagtanong sa iyo na congressman dito. And you said na, ikaw nga sumagot eh, na during the implementation of the search warrant, you found documents on money laundering amounting to 5+ billion. Yun ang sagot mo kanina eh. Tapos nung si Congressman Paduano na nagsasabi, sinabi mo na ang nagsabi doon sa 5.1 billion na yon ay yung taga-AMLAC. You're imputing wrongdoing to representatives of the AMLAC because I know na hindi dapat nila sabihin yun.
Hindi naman... Siguro,
kasi
sir,
kung kami nga nagtatanong sa AMLAC, hindi nila sinasabi eh.
siguro, sir, na-confuse lang yung pagbigay ko ng
So, would you say na yung pag-confuse mo, you lied?
Hindi naman po, sir. Kasi no mag-grade po ang CIDG at saka si Espinido, doon po namin nakita yung mga cheque, sir. Kung kanino inisyo, sino po yung mga involved. So, obligado po kami mag-report po sa higher headquarters na ito po yung mga na-found out naming documents. Tapos po, ito po ipinasa po sa AMLA, in which po nag-feedback po yung AMLA sa amin kasi kami man po nag-request ng investigation doon, sir, sa mga account. Kaya po kami, sir, sinabihan na yung laman nung account, ganito po kalaki.
I would like just to advise you, Colonel Marcos, na you should be forthright in your answers to the questions propounded by members of this committee.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Ayaw namin yung nag-flip-flop ka. Maliwanag siguro yun.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Kaya nga sabi ko, antayin mo na ako ang magtanong sa iyo.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Now, on August 12, 2016, jailed drug lord Edgar Alan Alvarez was shot dead inside the maximum security compound of the Leyte Regional Prison in Abuyog, Leyte. Tama.
Correct, sir.
At kayo po ang nag-lead ng CIDG Region 8 sa operation na ito.
Hindi po kami ang main lead, but our role, sir, is to the application of search warrant. It was led by the Police Regional Office 8, sir.
It was led.
By the mismo, sir, ng Police Regional Office 8. We, as supporting unit, our role was to apply for the search warrant.
Okay. Sige. Alam mo, Iho, wag mo akong pagbubulahin sa operation ng CIDG. Kasi naging chief ako ng NCR CIDG hanggang ako yung naging head ng National CIDG. And you're not being forthright in your answers. Now, doon sa, yun yung una na nag-apply kayo ng search warrant sa isang detention center. Tama?
Sa Abuyog, sir? Abuyog po?
Yung kay Alvarez.
Opo, sir. Sa Abuyog Penal Colony.
Yes, yun nga yung first.
Yun yung first.
Kasi tinanong ka kanina ng isang kasamahan ko rito whether meron pang nangyari na nag-apply kayo ng search warrant sa isang detention center. Sabi mo, oo.
Opo, sir.
Oo. Pero dadalawa lang yun sa buong Pilipinas. Ano sa tingin mo? Sa iyo lang nangyari?
Meron pang isa, sir, pero hindi ko ka-unit, sir. Taga Pro 8, sir. It was led by Colonel nag-apply din sila, sir, sa baybay ng City Jail. In-implement din po nila.
Kaya nga, doon nga lang nangyari. If we go back to history, maski nung ako'y naging chief ng CIDG, walang nangyaring ganyan. Kasi ang protocol, nagkikipag-usap kami sa jail superintendent. Hindi ko alam kung kailan nyo binago yan. Ngayon lang nangyari sa CIDG, nag-a-apply ng search warrant sa isang jail facility, which is supposedly controlled by government. Di ba? O, sa inyo lang talaga nangyari.
Yung sa amin during that time, sir, sinubukan lang naman po namin kung pa-approbang po kami ng judge, sir. Yun lang ang... Pero kung hindi naman...
Tama yung sinasabi ni Honorable Paduano kasi may rason kayo. Di ba? Huwag mo na akong paikutan. Mas magaling ako magpaikot sa ulo mo. Okay? May I know, how many search warrants did you apply for doon po sa Abuyod kung saan nakadetain si Mayor Rolando Espinosa?
Only one, sir. Isa lang po.
Only one?
Opo.
Hindi kayo nag-apply ng search warrant for a certain Mr. Yap?
It was on the same search warrant, sir. Dalawa po yung subject. Bali, dalawa sila, sir, na ano.
May know, are you telling the truth?
As far as I can recall, sir, parang...
Sagutin mo ako, are you telling the truth? Yes or no?
In my
kung
honest...
sumasagot ka kung hindi mo alam,
In my honest belief, sir, isa lang po. Kasi ako po may hawak ng search warrant nung pumasok kami, sir. Isang papel lang po.
Yung mga DOJ, pwede ba yun? You applied, based on official records, Colonel Marcos, you applied for search warrant on cells 1 and 2. Tig-isang search warrant.
Totoo po yun, sir. Dalawang cell, sir. Cell 1 and 2.
Pero, nga, dalawang search warrant, cells 1 and 2. Pero si Mr. Yap was detained sa cell number 7. Pero patay pa rin siya.
Oh, sir. Parang totoo.
Yes, yun ang sinasabi
totoo
ko.
po yan, sir. Totoo po.
Totoo. Paano nangyari yun? Kaya dalawang search warrant dahil kay Mayor Espinosa for violation of the Comprehensive Firearms Law. Ang kay Mr. Yap for violation of Republic Act 9165.
Oh, tama po yun, sir.
Ay, mas marunong pa ako sa iyo. Ikaw nag-conduct doon at mali yung ginawa nyo. Tell me. Tell me, alin ang tama doon sa ginawa nyo? Nag-apply kayo ng search warrant, tapos grinantan. But did you follow the protocol para pag-apply ng search warrant?
I believe so, Major Laraga, sir, follow the procedure.
Gerald Torre, will you please bear me if I'm right? Kayo nakatanggap ng informasyon galing kay Mr. Olendan ba yun? Diba? Mr. Olendan, yung inyong deponent, di ba? Oh. Tama. Ikaw nagsabi rin kanina eh. Narinig ko rin sa iyo kanina. Kung nakikita mo man lang akong nagbabasa, nakikinig ako sa sinasabi mo. Di ba? According to official records, yung witness mo po ninyo, the opponent is a certain Mr. Olendan. Would that be correct?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Would that also be true? Siya rin ba ang inyong deponent kay Mr. Yap?
Isa lang din po, siya din, sir.
Now, General Torre, if you're given information, for example, si Mr. Yap ay may possession of illegal drugs sa loob ng detention center at saka yung isang mayor doon na nakakulong ay mayroong 45, nagbigay ng information yung isang tao, what is the first thing that you should do? Would you believe hook, line, and sinker yung sasabihin ng deponent na yun? O yung informant na yun?
I will check, of course, sir, the veracity of the information
Yes,
given to
and
me.
that is what we call the vetting process
Yes, sir.
of the information. Now, Colonel Marcos, did you do that?
Sir, ginawa siguro ni Major Laraga yun, sir.
Ayaw ko makuha nyo siguro.
Ginawa niya yun, sir, kasi in-approve man, sir, siya ng application niya. As I said, sir, kahit nandito naman po si Director, ang mga provincial officer natin, sir, is may independence po sila sa pag-apply ng search warrant. Ang regional chief po, hindi po nakikialam.
Look, alam mo, ang sinasabi mo ba sa akin ay hindi mo alam na magkoconduct ng search doon sa jail? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Nung approve na, sir, yung search warrant.
Hindi nga.
Nung approve na po.
Sagutin mo yung umiiwas ka kagad, dumidepensa eh. Ang tanong ko sa iyo, hindi mo ba alam na magkoconduct ng search warrant yung provincial office mo doon sa detention center?
Alam ko po, sir,
And
kasi
then, ano po dapat ang ginawa ninyo bilang regional head?
Binerify-
Hindi ba ang responsibilidad mo ay titignan mo that everything is in order or in accordance with law?
binerify ko yan, sir.
So, binerify mo and everything was in accordance with law. Tingin mo.
Ni-repair din po yata yun sa legal, ni-repair din po sa legal ng CIDG yun, sir, kasi before the implementation, sir, mag-clearance po ako kay Director CIDG. At the same time, sir, ipapa-verify din yung Intel report based doon sa information ng implementation ng search warrant ng Intel Division ng CIDG.
Sagot mo na lang yan nung narinig mo yun na kailangan i-vet.
Yun po yung...
Afterthought na lang yung sagot mo, Colonel Marcos. But in all probability, hindi nyo ginawa yun. Kasi doon pa lang sa tanong ni Honorable Paduano, yung deponent ninyo, hindi ka panipaniwala. As a matter of fact, sinabi nga na debunk yung claim na yun eh, nung inyong witness. He was not a credible deponent according to the records. Colonel Marcos. Di ba? But anyway, DOJ, is the DOJ present?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ako, kanina, sinasabi ni Colonel Marcos, pinagyayabang na niya na na-filean siya ng kaso, na-quit siya. Tama?
That is what I heard.
That is what you heard.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yun ang sinabi niya, di ba? Kasi, tama nga rin po yung sinasabi niya na since nagkaroon po siya ng trial, he has been arraigned, double jeopardy will set in. Tama po.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair.
And would you agree with me that the only way that the case can be reopened is if there is a decision that there was a mistrial?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
That is correct. Thank you. Thank you, DOJ. Pag-aralan mo yun, Colonel Marcos. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Actually, kanina lumapit po ako sa taga-AMLA, sir. Pre-provide ko sa kanya yung documents na pre-provide din sa akin nung dalawang attorney ng taga-AMLA. Yung scheme.
Sandali po.
Yung
Documents coming from the AMLAC,
Yep, yes,
dalawang attorney. Is it official and authenticated?
hindi naman po, sir.
O hindi dapat. So you should not mention in this committee those documents if it's not official.
Pati po yung
Hindi nga, sandali.
Yes, sir.
Sama na. You should not use it in your statement, those documents that is not official.
Yes,
And who is that two attorneys from AMLAC?
Pilit ko pong i-recall.
Now you don't recall.
Yung
Now you can't recall. Can you recall it or not?
nandoon po sa isang cellphone ko, sir. Sa isang cellphone ko na hindi ko na ginamit. At saka nag-provide po ako ng cheque na nandoon po yung corporation. Blue.
Sandali.
Opo.
Sandali. Dahan-dahan mo na. I'm just asking you about that 5.1 billion. And you tell this committee that your source is the two attorney or lawyer from the AMLAC. Now, I told you that is not an official document. Correct?
It could be, hindi ba siya authenticated, sir?
Oh, that's why you cannot use it. Dahan-dahan ka po. Dito sa committee nito. Second, you cannot anymore remember the two lawyers from AMLAC?
Pardon, sir?
Hindi mo na matandaan yung dalawang abogado?
Pili ko nire-recall, pero sigurado ako, sir, nandun sa isang cellphone ko po yung
How did you get that information? You talk to them? Personally?
We were ongoing, sir, with the financial...
Sandali. You talk to them, yes or no? Personally?
Personally, sir.
Also, you cannot remember the names? You talk to them personally, but you cannot remember the names? Even surname or family name? Eto I just want to warn you, because we will produce the two lawyers. If you cannot name it in today's hearing, I will cite you in contempt for lying. Just want to warn you. Huwag mo kaming burahin dito, Colonel Marcos. Are you still with the CIDG?
Yes po, sir.
Oh, General Torre, yung tao mo is telling a lie. He is lying in front of this committee. So you can name the two lawyers? As you have mentioned, you talk to them personally. But now you cannot mention the name.
It was 7 years ago.
Sorry?
Yung pangalan nila, sir, at saka yung cellphone number, nandun po sa isang cellphone ko, sir.
No, I'm not asking about the cell phone number.
Bali po,
I'm asking about the names because if you have is the two lawyers assigned in the central office?
Sir?
Naka-assign ba po yung dalawang lawyers sa central office ng AMLA?
Possible, sir.
But possible. You're a CIDG intelligence officer and you never check the background of the two lawyers you mentioned?
Actually,
And that is the source of your 5.1 billion telling in this committee?
Actually, sir, these two lawyers conducted seminar on all CIDG personnel and regional officers.
When was that? Ito, lumalamlin tayo.
2016,
Saan
sir.
yung seminar na yan?
It was 2016, sir. Training kami pertaining to money laundering.
Saan yan?
Dito, sir, sa Manila, lahat ng RC.
Saan sa Manila?
Isang hotel, sir.
Saan hotel? O, hindi mo na naman matandaan yung hotel.
Actually, the training, sir, is mandatory for regional.
Hindi nga, I'm asking about the hotel. You cannot mention the name. Now you're telling us that there is a seminar in that hotel, and what is that hotel? Because we have to check that hotel, if indeed there's a seminar on that day.
I'll try to recall, sir. Doon ko po nakilala yung dalawang lawyer.
Eto, Colonel Marcos, ha? Eto, I just want to warn you.
Mr. Chair,
Eto, this is your first offense of lying.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
with the indulgence of the Honorable Paduano,
With the indulgence of Congressman
one
Paduano.
question lang, one question.
Yes, Congressman Naakop, you're recognized.
Colonel Marcos, yung information regarding yung 5 billion ba, was it voluntarily given you or did you ask for it?
It was voluntarily given to me, sir.
Then
Because
it is mandatory that you recall the names of the two AMLAC. Because that is not appropriate.
yes, sir, I will give, sir, the two names, sir.
Kami nga, hindi nga namin basta-basta makuha yung kwan kung walang predicate crime eh.
I will provide the two names, sir.
Yes,
Because
provide it. Otherwise, I will agree with the Honorable Paduano that you should be cited in contempt. Kasi sinagot mo yung katanungan sa katanungan ni Honorable Rodriguez Gutierrez kanina. Yes.
sir,
Ikaw ang nag-volunteer nun na yung kwan ni Mr. Espinosa, ang transaction is worth 5 billion.
can I explain a little, sir? Nung binigay po sa akin yung information,
Hindi kita tinatanong. Ang tinanong ko lang sa iyo is, did you ask for the details or binolunteer ng AMLAC?
it was voluntarily given to me because mayroon po silang binigay na documents on the scheme of the money laundering. Nandito po sa cellphone. Yun po ang binigay.
Thank you, Honorable Paduano.
Yun po.
Chairman, kaya
Please proceed.
Amlak, is it normal? Kasi kami dito, pag nag-request kami, doon sa asset, freezing of assets, ang daming requirements. But Colonel Marcos is telling this committee na binigay sa kanya voluntarily that allegedly that 5.1 billion asset. And looking at your records, nandito ngayon hawak ko, and you mentioned it, wala. Di ba? Kaya is it normal, Amlak?
Your Honor, for the meeting that Colonel Marcos mentioned, well, it's usual occurrence for us to have coordination meetings with our counterparts, Your Honor. But as to the disclosure of transactions, I'm not really sure if, but me as an investigator, when we conduct these meetings, we don't readily disclose information because of the bank secrecy law and
Sir,
Section 8
naalala
of
ko
the-
na. Si General Lubusan, sir, yung dalawang lawyer na taga-AMLA, inutusan niya, sir, na pumunta ng Tacloban para harapin ako, sir, because I was ongoing investigation on a Metrobank account also pertaining to drug money. Ngayon, sir, kaya ako na-meet, sir, yung dalawang lawyer. Hindi ko naman sila personal na kilala, pero sinabi ni General Lubusan doon sa AMLA dalawang lawyer, pumunta kayo kay Colonel Marcos sa Region 8. You coordinate with him. He will give you all the information.
Oh, Colonel
Ano
Marcos,
nangyari?
you're now changing your story. Tama?
It is how I meet, sir, the two lawyers.
Sandali.
Opo, sir.
So you're now changing your story? Yes or no?
Hindi naman po, sir. Doon ko sila
Anong
na-meet.
hindi? You tell this committee a while ago that during your seminar, then all of a sudden, inutusan na certain General Busa, eto, problema pa, papatawag namin si General Busa. And if he deny it, lagot ka.
Both occasions, sir, are true. Yung una, sir, na-meet ko sila dahil pinapunta sila ni General Ubusan sa Region 8. Mag-coordinate sa akin.
Dali.
After that, sir, dahil hindi si kumbinsido yung taga-AMLA sa knowledge namin pertaining to financial investigation on money laundering, nagpakandak po si General Ubusan ng seminar. Yun po. Doon ko na naman sila po na-meet uli.
So nauna yung pagpunta nila sa Leyte.
It was the first time that I met them kasi inutusan silang pumunta ng OTSO para mag-coordinate sa akin, may bigay ko yung mga impormasyon na kailangan nila. At the same time, sir, na-convince sila na yung mga chief ng CIDG, hindi equipped pertaining to financial investigation.
Mr.
So,
Chair.
nagpakandak ko, sir, ng seminar.
Mr.
So
Chair.
you're, with the indulgence of General Acop, Chairman Acop after me. Ito na lang po, so you're telling that the two lawyers you cannot mention is lying?
Lying po.
Lying. Because on record, there is a such thing as 5.1 billion. So they're lying, but still you cannot mention their name?
It is the, sir, a Blue Oceanic Corporation Textile.
No. What? Answer directly my question. Di ba? Sinabi mo 5 billion, 5.1 billion. Now we check with AMLA, wala. Now you're telling this committee that the two lawyers in which until now you cannot mention is lying?
Wala naman sila dito, sir, para i-deny yung sinasabi ko.
Ay, hindi. This is record. Nako, Colonel Marcos, are you a lawyer?
Hindi naman po.
Oh, wag kang mag-lawyering dito.
Hindi po ako nagdo-lawyer.
Papalusot ka, I am not a lawyer, pero hindi ka pwedeng lumusot dito.
Sir, it's an honest to goodness information, sir. Wala akong motibo, sir, na...
Hindi, kaya nga yung tinatanong ko, kasi kanina hindi naman tinanong sa'yo, ikaw mismo voluntarily, when you are being asked by Kong Rods. Now, hindi mo ma-mention yung pangalan. Now, nandito na yung dokumento, official document. O still, are you insisting?
Yung po kasi ang binigay na info sa akin, sir.
You cannot produce the name. Then you will tell this committee that you're telling the truth.
Nandun kasi, sir, sa isang cellphone ko yung pangalan. Pinipilit ko pong i-recall, sir. Pasensya na po.
Bakit anong nandun sa binigyan ka ba ng cellphone number?
Nirecord ko po yung mga pangalan niya, sir.
Or do you have the document, official document, that you were ordered by a certain General Bosa to meet that to AMLAC personnel or lawyers?
Tinawagan lang po ako, sir, ni Director.
Oh, yun ang problema. Because that instruction is verbal.
Oh, verbal, sir.
Oh. So verbal, okay ka?
Sir?
Okay sa'yo na verbal. Verbal instruction.
Bali, tinawagan ako ni General Lubusan na may pupunta sa
Hindi kaya nga eh. Okay sa verbal. Instruction. Na napaka-sensitive. It's all about acid nung Espinosa.
Oh, they were ongoing investigation noon, sir.
Oh, yun yung problema mo, Tony.
Ongoing po.
Colonel Marcos, yun ang problema mo. Ito i-hold ko muna. Yes, Chairman Acop.
Mr. Chair, ang tanong ko lang, sabi mo na naman ngayon, nautusan ka ni General Ubusan, who I presume was the chief of the CIDG then.
Yes, sir.
Siya ang boss mo. Inutusan o sinabihan ni General Ubusan yung dalawang AMLAC na pumunta sa iyo kasi ikaw ang nakakalam. Tama ba yung pagkarinig ko sa sagot mo?
Opo, sir. Tama po, sir.
Ano yung bagay na iniimbestiga ng AMLAC? At bakit lumabas doon yung 5.1 billion na sinasabi na financial transaction ni Mr. Kerwin Espinosa?
Kasi during that time, sir, I was, dahil ako ang regional chief ng CIDG 8,
sinabi ba nila?
Sir?
Sinabi ba nila na ang iimbestigahan nila yung financial transaction ni Mr. Kerwin Espinosa?
Yes po, sir. Yun ang specific na pakay nila, sir.
Ay, mandatory na sabihin mo yung pangalan ng dalawang AMLAC.
Opo, sir.
Chairman, can I proceed? Thank you, Chairman Acop. Now, you should submit in this committee the names of that two lawyers from AMLAC before we end this hearing. Or else, this committee will be pushed to cite you in contempt, Colonel Marcos. Sorry.
Sige
You
po,
should
sir.
produce.
I-recall ko, sir.
Now, let me proceed, Mr. Chairman. You mentioned, kaya tinanong kita kanina kung lawyer ka eh. Kasi you mentioned about compelling reasons for the issuance of search warrant.
Yes, sir.
Oh, matanong nga kita, what is the compelling reason to issue search warrant inside the jail? And it happens not only once, Colonel Marcos, it happens not only once, it happens twice during your time.
Yes, sir.
Tama?
Yes, sir.
Twice nangyari. Dalawang beses, dalawa ring tao ang namatay
Yes, sir.
na mga allegedly drug lords.
Opo, sir.
Oh, now, please answer, what are those competing reasons? Kasi nandito taga-GOJ. Tatanungin ko,
Yung usually, sir, pag nagkakaroon kami ng application on other areas, hindi doon sa jurisdiction ng judge, sir, na nakakasakop doon sa dapat applyan namin ng search warrant na lugar. Ang isang compelling reason, there is reasonable, this is a valid reason na maaring mag-leak, sir, yung search warrant na ina-apply namin. Yun po yung...
okay, valid reason
Opo, sir.
that you can serve that search warrant. Tama?
Bali, pag mag-a-apply po kami, sir, sa isang judge na sasabihin ng judge, o bakit dito kayo nag-a-apply? Eh, may judge man doon sa lugar na yon.
Hindi, sandali.
Opo, sir.
Ikaw, Colonel Marcos, ha? Halata ka na. Ang tinatanong ko lang yung compelling reason. Hindi kung saan mo kinuha. Darating tayo dyan mamaya.
Opo, sir.
Saan mo na, kung saan ka nag-apply, darating tayo mamaya. You answer first, sa'yo to nagaling eh.
Opo, sir. Bali, ano yung pa yung reason, sir? Yung para hindi mag-leak po yung search warrant. Kasi
Sorry?
pag minsan kasi...
You are not, Colonel Marcos, you are not answering my question. Ang sinasagot mo, Colonel Marcos, makinig ka. Ang sinasagot mo, yung reason why, instead of getting search warrant in Leyte, you get your search warrant in Samar. Yun yung sinasagot mo. Di ba?
Opo, sir.
Mali. Ang tanong ko, what is the compelling reason to issue a search warrant in a government facility, and in this case, a jail under the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. What is that compelling reason?
We have a reason to believe, sir, based on intel reports, that there is collusion between the jail guards.
Again, you don't answer my question. Ang tinatanong ko, hindi kung saan ka kumuha ng search warrant. Ang tinatanong ko, yung sinasabi mong compelling reason to issue a search warrant inside a government facility, and in this case, sa jail, under the supervision of the BGMP. O anong compelling reason?
May intel report nga kami, sir, na yung mga jail guards is medyo kumbaga patong na, sir, doon sa operation.
Dali. Again yung tinasagot mo sa akin, application of search warrant, pupunta rin tayo doon mamaya. Ang tinatanong ko lang, ano yung sinasabi mong compelling reason for you to ask for search warrant, and the court will issue a search warrant indeed in a government facility, and in this case, jail under the BGMP. Ikaw nagsabi.
Because there is a criminal act going on, sir, inside the jail. Kumbaga, merong...
Criminal act?
Oh, parang may...
Okay, mamaya puntahan natin. DOJ. Nandito DOJ? Criminal act, ha? Tandaan mo, ha, Colonel Marcos, pag nagkamali ka dito, na nagsisinungaling ka, baka baguhin mo na, I will cite you in contempt. DOJ, did you get the question that I raised to Colonel Marcos na defensive siya, umiiwas siya, nasagutin? O what is that compelling reason daw? Is there a compelling reason to issue a search warrant in the jail?
Mr. Chair, regarding that particular case, Mr. Chair, there's already an en banc decision by the Supreme Court saying that there is no compelling reason for the issuance or for the issuance of the warrant. I mean, there's no compelling reason for the application of a search warrant in a jail facility, Mr. Chair.
That is a jurisprudence.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Oh, Colonel Marcos, eto, hindi ako lawyer, pero ganun din pagkaintindi ko. Eto, DOJ na yung sasabi. Oh, do you have to contest the opinion of the legal minds from DOJ?
Hindi po, sir.
Oh, better not talk. Kasi yun lang tanong ko eh. Now, next. Ito, establish. Okay. Kasi, under the jail management, may upland galugad dyan eh. Di ba? That is the standard operating procedure of the BGMP if indeed there is an information that that jail, particular jail, may illegal na nangyayari sa loob. Oh, you know.
I agree, sir.
Oh, so you now agree that you cannot supposedly you should not apply a search warrant. That is the opinion of the DOJ.
Actually, sir, yung operation na yun, hindi man talaga papayag na papasok sa isang decision.
Sandali, punta natin mamaya yun.
Oh.
Ang tinatanong ko lang muna dito, I just want to establish that you should not apply a search warrant in a jail. That is now a jurisprudence.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me proceed. Ito tatlong case. Now, in the case of Egay Alvarez, isabihin ko na siya para baka mamaya, Egay Alvarez happens August 11. After, the day before Parañaque case of Bantag happens. And 2 days after, August 13, the case that 3 Chinese national was killed inside the Picol. The first, kumbaga, babalikan ko yon mamaya pag nandito si Garma, the first, at saka si Leonardo, the first incident na may impact doon sa war on drugs is the case happened in your area. And that is the case of Egay Alvarez, happens to be a detainee at the time, and allegedly a drug lord, and he was killed inside this jail because of your search warrant. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, first question. Sino ang judge na nag-issue ng search warrant?
In the case, sir, of Abuyog Penal Colony, ang nag-issue po is si Judge Janet Cabaluna po, sir.
Si Janet Cabaluna.
Opo, sir.
And she was also the judge that you applied first for Mayor Espinosa.
Hindi po, sir. Ibang judge naman po, sir. Bali si Judge Tarcelo Sabari naman kay Espinosa, sir.
Pero taga-Samar yun.
Samar po na ano.
Samar din yung isa. Yung Cabaluna.
Hindi, nalimutan ko na, sir, kung sa... kasi hindi po akong applicant.
Hindi ko nga makalimutan eh.
Si Major Laraga po ang applicant, sir.
But yeah, Major Lala is under you.
Opo, sir.
Oh. Kaya nga nagkakaso ka doon, di ba?
Opo, sir. Hindi ko... Basta within Leyte yata, sir, si Judge Cabaluna. O hindi, or sama... Hindi lang ako sure yung kung saan, sir.
Colonel naman, kanina mo pa dinipinsahan niya, you have to take search warrant outside of the jurisdiction because the connection of blah, blah, blah to the jail and the court.
Samar.
Tapos ngayon, ayaw mo aminin, taga-Samar.
Samar siguro. Samar, sir.
Ay, hindi nga ako involved doon eh. Pero alam ko na taga-Samar.
Opo, sir.
Oh, in applying for a search warrant, in this case, eto, Colonel ha, eto, pag nagkamali ka dito, I will cite you in contempt. Who is your deponent? Who is your deponent?
Sa Albera, sir, naalala
No.
ko, si...
Hindi Albera. At tinatanong ko ngayon yung kay Egay pa, Alvarez. Who is the deponent?
Si Major Laraga po, sir, makakasagot kasi sila po ang applicant, sir. Hindi po ako. Hindi silang pumunta sa judge. Pero maalala ko
But, sandali, but yung major is under your watch.
Opo, sir.
Tama?
Opo, sir.
Oo. Di ba?
Hindi...
Oh, so you allow that major to ask for a search warrant without knowing the deponent?
Sir, ganito po ang procedure namin sa CIDG. Yung mga provincial officers po namin, kanya-kanya po yan nag-a-apply ng search warrant. Ang regional chief po, sir, hindi po nagtatanong kung sino po ang deponent.
Sandali.
Opo, sir, ganun po
Sandali.
namin.
But, Colonel Marcos, ha, ito part of the drug war. And in Region 8, you're the one supervising such campaign as CIDG chief.
Opo, sir.
Oh, now, sinong major yon? Is
Leo Police Major Leo Laraga, sir. Siya ang provincial
Ngayon, he's assigned in where?
Leyte Provincial Chief siya.
Ngayon, saan siya naka-assign?
Si IDG pa rin ngayon, sir.
Is still active?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, can we ask General Torre to check that a certain major and
He is assigned with RFU 8 now, sir.
RFU 8?
Oh, si IDG 8, sir.
8. She is the chief.
No po, sa ngayon siya ang chief investigator yata doon, sir.
Oh, can you call him? Colonel Torre, can you check? General Torre, can you check?
Yes, sir. We'll do, sir.
Please check the deponent of such search warrant.
Mag-feedback ako, sir.
Oh, ganito lang, Colonel Marcos. Yung deponent mo ba, police?
Civilian, sir.
Civilian?
Usually, civilian, sir.
Hindi, tinatanong ko in this case, hindi mo alam.
Sa Abuyog, sir, na search warrant, di ko po talaga, sir.
Okay, now, doon sa Baybay.
Civilian, sir. Paul Olindan.
Sino?
Paul Olindan.
O, Paul Olindan.
Opo, sir.
Is Paul Olindan a jail guard?
Hindi po, sir.
A detainee? Detainee ba siya?
Dati, sir. Dating preso yan, sir.
Oh, eto, Colonel Marcos, dating preso. Oh, kailan siya nakalabas sa bilangguan?
Ano siya, sir? Naka-parole.
O nga, kailan nga nakalaya? Kailan nakalaya?
Hindi ko alam ang...
Matagal na, before the incident happened.
Oh, matagal na po.
Okay, now, how can a deponent should have a direct knowledge? Di ba?
Yes, sir.
O, paano siya magkaroon ng direct knowledge doon sa selda, sa cell ni Mayor Espinosa kung he's not anymore a detainee? Pinipilot nyo kasi. Gumagawa kasi kayo ng kalokohan eh.
Sir, ang humaharap po kasi sa judge.
Hindi, tinatanong ko sa iyo, kung ang deponent mo is a former PDL, under parole, anong direct knowledge doon sa loob ng silda ni Mayor?
Ang nagdadala kasi, sir,
Sandali. Sandali.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yung deponent mo, may direct knowledge ba? Wala.
It will be based on the appreciation.
Hindi nga, ito nga ngayon, tinatanong kita, he's not anymore a PDL, under parole, he was not there in the jail, and still you use him as a deponent because you have something plan, a different plan for Mayor Espinosa. Oh.
Mr. Chair, clarification, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Regarding this issue, Mr. Chair, yes.
Okay.
I'd like to ask in layman's terms, Mr. Chair. Dahil gusto nilang gawin, dahil yung police gusto nilang gawin yung trabaho nila, na makakuha sila ng search warrant, kasalanan ba nila na yung judge ang mag-issue ng search warrant? Now, if there is a jurisprudence from the Supreme Court, bakit nag-issue ang judge?
Hindi, yun na nga eh. Ang point dito is,
May.
deponent per se should have a direct knowledge. And of course, may problema ang judge. But at the same time, may problema kayong mga police. Alam mo bakit? Because you're forcing it to have a deponent without direct knowledge and you talk to the judge, in which ang judge ito may problema din, then you operate not on the reason of the items supposedly under the search warrant. Yun ang malinaw eh. Namatay si Egay Alvarez. Eh, hindi ko sinasabi na he's not a drug lord. When in fact, ako alam ko, he's a drug lord. Pati source niya. Pati yung namatay dun sa Dapicol. But of course, it's a different thing. It's a different story. We're talking about extrajudicial killing here. And hindi to simpleng coincidence. Hindi simpleng coincidence. Kasi dalawang jail sa Leyte ang nangyari, you serve a search warrant and the result is namatay yung mga allegedly drug lords or narcotics, narco drugs, politicians. Yun pong totoo. Di ba? Ang sinasabi ko, I am not defending here the drug pushers, the drug lords. But what I'm saying is, you're violating the law. Because you have a different purpose in getting the search warrant. Yun ang malinaw. And history is telling us now. It never happens na lumabas ang katotohanan during the previous administration because that is part of the drug war. Yun ang malinaw. Chairman Akop?
Congressman Paduano, kindly wrap up.
Chairman Akop, I thought you will... Anyway. Now, Colonel Marcos, you produced the deponent. The names of the deponent.
I will call Major Laraga, sir. After the, tatawagan ko kagad.
Ayun, si General Torre. At the same time, the deponent doon sa sa bahay ni Espinosa.
Opo, sir. Tatanong ko po kay Major Laraga kagad.
General Torre, kindly check, please.
Yes, sir. I'm
Kindly
already
wrap up,
talking to
Congressman
the
Paduano.
regional chief, sir. We are asking for the deponent and the applicant, sir.
And you produce, Attorney Colonel Marcos, the names of that lawyers within the day.
Yes,
If
sir.
you cannot produce those name of lawyers,
Yes, sir. I
we'll
will,
be posed to cite you in contempt.
I will call my colleague, sir, para makakuha ko yung pangalan.
Now, you're saying about the involvement of the jail guards, di ba? Kaya kumuha kayo ng search warrant doon sa kabila, sa Samar, instead of getting it in Leyte?
Yes, sir.
O now, dahil, ba't doon kayo kumuha ng search warrant? Why?
Sa Samar, sir.
Yeah. Ba't doon sa Samar, not in Leyte?
Ganito po yan, sir. Si Major Laraga po, yung provincial officer ko, they are po the operating arm of different provinces. Pumunta po sa akin, sir, mag-apply po ako ng search warrant. Sinong applyan mo? Ito, sir, may input tayong ganito, ganito, ganito. O sige, i-apply mo ng search warrant. Kung i-approve ka ng judge, implement natin. Ngayon, sir, hindi man po lahat ng search warrant na ina-apply ng CIDG or ng provincial offices, ina-approve ng judge. Marami din pong dinideny. Ngayon, nataon, sir, si Major Laraga, pag-apply niyan, na-approve, in-implement po namin, sir.
And then, hindi pa sinasagot yung tanong ko eh. Why not in Leyte? Why in Samar?
Sa rin yun, sir, sa tinanong ko kay Major Laraga, bakit sa Samar ka mag-a-apply? Sabi niya, sir, pag dito ako, sir, nag-apply sa Baybay o dito sa malapit sa atin, yung mga empleyado dito, mag-interconnected yan. Mamaya, matawagan, sir, na may warrant tayong isi-serve. Yun ang binigay niyang reason sa akin.
Eh, ano yan? Teorya nyo yan. Yeah, presumption nyo. Diba?
Presumption po ni Major Laraga, sir.
Hindi, pati kayo. Siyempre, nag-report na nga sa iyo eh. Pinayagan mo kahit na doon sa kabila.
Yes, sir.
Oh, di ba?
Nag-okay ako sa kanya, sir.
But a while ago, you're talking about the collusion between the alleged drug lord and the jail guards. Di ba? Sinabi mo yon?
Yes, sir. That is also based on the intel report submitted by Major Laraga.
Major Laraga?
Yes, sir. Leo Laraga, sir.
Siya yung siya yung na-demote
Oh, sir. Bali from na-demote yan, sir.
because of?
Under appeal sila sa NAPOLCOM.
And then, tinatanong
Because
because
of the
of?
administrative charge, sir, pertaining to the Espinosa case.
Okay. Now, ganito lang yun kasi, Colonel eh. Kasi if you have strong evidence or data, no evidence, with regards to collusion between jail guards and the drug lords, did you file a case against those jail guards?
Hindi po, sir, nag-file si Major. Hindi kami nag-file, sir.
O bakit hindi kayo nag-file? Kasi, di ba, kaya nyo kinuha yung search warrant sa Samar, not in Leyte because you believe that there is collusion between drug lords and the jail guards. So why didn't you file a case against the jail guards?
Sometimes kasi, sir, intel reports doesn't stand in court. Hindi po tatayo sa korte ang intel report, sir.
Yun yung problema eh.
Kindly wrap up, Congressman Paduano.
Anyway, hindi pa ako tapos sana.
No, you will have your time.
Anyway.
after this round, we will have another round because we still have another resource person that we will have to present before this committee. And then I will guarantee you that you will be the next interpellator in the first round of that particular resource person.
Mr. Chairman, magkakasunod-sunod kasi ito, baka malaman pa ni Colonel Marcos. I will just hold my questions, Mr. Chairman. But again, I just want to manifest once again that Colonel Marcos should submit to this committee the names because before this hearing ends, in today's hearing, because I have to talk to that lawyer. Nandito naman po yung AMLA.
Okay.
Then, yung question of the names that we asked about the deponent.
Sir, I will call Major Lara.
And then, nandun si General Torre din is now communicating, I think, he's now communicating with Major Lara. May mga tanong pa ako doon. Marami pa po. Now, lastly lang pala, Mr. Chairman, can I ask the, baka makalimutan ko, can I ask the DOJ, what are those reason or requirements, legal requirements that the case of Igay Alvarez, in the case of in which and the case of Mayor Alvera, in which police officers are involved in the death of those allegedly detained drug lords. What are the basis or reasons for it to be reopened?
I'm very again, Mr. Chair. I'm here actually for the Pogo related issue, so I'm not very familiar with their cases, sir. I'm just a while ago I was answering on the questions regarding this particular incident based on the decision of the Supreme Court that I just read, but. As of now, I'm still, I'd like to refer back to our main office so that we could inquire upon it.
Please.
Yes,
now, can I get the opinion na lang, last na lang, Mr. Chairman, can I get the opinion of our dear colleagues, former colleague, is also a top-notch lawyer, may kababayan in Bacolod, Congressman Nery Colmenares, with regards to possible reopening of cases, no? Of the case with doon sa kay Igay Alvarez, and the same kasi namatay doon sa loob ng jail. And I do believe that may problema po sa process. And I also do believe that the purpose of that trade, no, and the search warrant is not to get what is what is in the search warrant, but the life of the two PDLs.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, there is always that possibility of opening up these cases, Mr. Chair. Secondly, the issue of search warrant factories had been an issue. That's why the Supreme Court was even forced later on to say na hindi pwede yun. You're using, because many people died because of these search warrants issued by Metro Manila judges, Mr. Chair. So in cases such as this, misuse of the legal processes of the law, or heinous crimes like crimes against humanity, for example, Mr. Chair, this can always be opened anytime, Mr. Chair, especially since they do not prescribe, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Congressman Nery. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano. Colonel Marcos, huwag ka munang umalis. Hanggang alas 12 tayo ngayong gabi, and we will definitely come back to you during the second round. Now, the next to interpellate is Congressman Acop and then Congressman Abante for the wrapping up before we proceed with our next witness. Our next witness is also a witness in relation to the extrajudicial killings that happened in Cebu City. And Quezon City. So, Congressman Acop, you're now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Natanong na yung karamihan na tanong. But first, may ask Pedea, how was the late Mayor Rolando Espinosa and Kerwin Espinosa described in the original list of the war against drugs? Ano po ang nakadescribe doon sa inyong files?
Your Honor, in the original list, they were described as drug lords.
Both of them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Espinosa, hindi ko na po kayo tatanungin tungkol dun sa event sa tatay ninyo. Kasi, as your lawyers very well know, I consider them as hearsay. Kasi hindi first-hand information yung sagot mo sa akin. Di ba? And you can ask your lawyers. Tama rin po ba? Yes. Now, ang gusto ko lang pong tanungin sa inyo is, dun sa inyong affidavit, sinabi ninyo na sumunod lang kayo sa plano. Ano po yung plano na sinasabi ni then Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa? Pakilinaw po yun.
Sa Mr. Chair, sa pagkaintindi ko na plano sa patungkol doon sa sinasabi ko, ang plano ay idiin ang mga taong binigay niya na pangalan, idiin sa kalakaran ng droga at protector ng droga.
Specifically, si Senator De Lima,
Senator Laila De Lima,
Peter Lim,
Peter
at saka
Lim,
Peter Ko.
Peter Ko, Lovely Impal,
Yes.
at General Luot.
Dahil nung panahon na yon, nagkakaroon ng hearing sa Senado tungkol sa participation ni Senator De Lima sa illegal drugs doon po sa Bilibid. Tama po ba yan?
Yes po.
Yes, tama. Now, noong panahon na yon, yung driver ni Senator De Lima nagtago, di po ba? At eventually nahuli.
Tama po yun, Mr. Chair.
Kaya nung ikaw ay nanggaling o nakuha sa Dubai, dinala ka rito sa Camp Crame, doon kayo nagkita ni Mr. Dayan.
Hindi po kami nagkita, Mr. Chair. Through cellphone lang po kami nag-usap at hindi kami nagkita personally.
Bakit kayo dapat mag-usap? Kanino pong utos?
Kay General Bato po, Mr. Chair.
Ano dapat yung pag-usapan nyo sa utos ni General De La Rosa?
Mr. Chair, mag-usap daw po kami, Mr. Chair, ng tungkol doon sa mga date na binanggit namin at sa mga lugar na nangyari. Kung saan nangyari kasi hindi nagkatugma ang mga statement namin sa panahon na yon.
Bakit kailangan magkatugma yung statement mo at saka statement ni Dayan?
Para siguro, Mr. Chair, na paniwala ang isang senaryo.
Kasi kayo po ay resource person dun sa Senate hearing?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Anyway, alam mo naman siguro habang ikaw ay nandun sa Abu Dhabi na merong sinabi si President Duterte na based on reports during that time, shoot them if Leyte Mayor son resist arrest. Nalaman mo rin ba ito?
Opo. Yun din ang dahilan na ang plano ko talaga, hindi na talaga umuwi dahil ako mismo nakakita sa balita sa CNN na sinabi ni Presidente na po sila basta musukol.
At nalaman mo rin ba na si General De La Rosa, who was then the Chief PNP, ay nagbigay ng shoot-on-sight order laban sa iyo when he stated in a news article, De La Rosa to Abuera Mayor Sanz, surrender or die?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Yung tatay po ninyo sumuko sa otoridad noong August 2, 2016.
Tama po.
Tama
po, Mr. Chair.
And unfortunately, November 5, patay po siya.
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Anyway. Now, meron ding ang happy ng Alvera noon ay si then Major Jovi Espinido.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
At alam mo rin ba na pinagre-resign niya yung tatay mo? Panahon na yun?
Oo. Na sinabi yun sa akin ng daddy ko na pinilit siya ni Espinido na bumaba sa kanyang pagka-mayor, mag-resign na daw.
And there was also a raid conducted on your parents' house, which allegedly yielded 88 million worth of shabu.
Yun ang nakalagay sa report ng mga pulis, Mr. Chair.
So, alam mo na nangyari yun?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Meron ka bang naging girlfriend na Ana Luliaguno?
Naging asawa ko po yun si Ana Luliaguno po, Mr. Chair, nung ako ay na-detain sa Cebu City Jail. Po.
Naging asawa mo nung ikaw ay na-detain?
Opo, doon kami nagkakilala sa loob, Mr. Chair.
And naging asawa mo siya. Ano naman ang kaugnayan yung dalawa kay Jeffrey alias Jaguar Diaz na isang drug lord din who was allegedly killed in Las Piñas?
Pakiulit po, Mr. Chair.
Ano po ang kaugnayan nyo dalawa kay Jeffrey Diaz alias Jaguar, a drug suspect allegedly killed in Las Piñas?
Yung asawa ko po, Mr. Chair, may relasyon, parang naging girlfriend, naging kabit ni Jaguar Diaz po, Mr. Chair, sa panahon na yun. At iniwan ako.
Oo, naghiwalay kayo at sumama kay Sir Diaz. Anyway.
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Doon din sa panahon na yon, nung kayo po ay nasa kustodiya ng ating otoridad, sinisigaw mo nung panahon na yon na you will tell all but you're not a drug lord. Pero doon sa listahan ng original list ng Drug Watch, ang description po sa inyo ay kasama sa drug lord. Kaya una kong tinanong yung PDEA kung ano ang meron o saan ka nakakategorize kayong mag-ama. Sabi nila, drug lord. So, pero nung ikaw ay nandito na sa ating bansa, you were shouting to heaven na sasabihin mo ang lahat, pero hindi ka drug lord. Yun ang pinagsisigaw mo eh. Tama po ba?
Opo, Mr. Chair. Hindi po ako drug lord.
Sigurado ka ron?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Ano kaya ang dahilan bakit nakalista ka na drug lord dun sa original list ng war on drugs?
Hindi ko alam, Mr. Chair, o baka may gustong ma-promote at sa politika din. Na hindi po ako drug lord. Hindi po ako drug lord. Para sabihin ko sa taong bayan, hindi ako drug lord. Pero naging isang adik-adik ako. Naging drug user ako. 22 years ago. Naging drug addict po ako. Pero hindi po ako drug lord.
Yung mga statements mo doon sa Senado during the hearing, binawi mo lahat maliban sa isa?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Ang hindi mo, binawi mo lahat yung sinabi tungkol kay Senator De Lima, di ba?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
Maliban lang sa isa na statement mo. Yung statement mo na paghihingi ni Colonel Marcos ng 3 million, yun ang hindi mo binawi eh. Tama?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
At nakalista rito kung paano ang paraan, paano hiningi at paano ibinigay yung pera ng tatay mo kay Colonel Marcos.
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Thank you. Now, may I know why Colonel Marcos is not around? Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Wala po
Congressman
si...
While waiting for the if I may
Yes.
just ask a short question kay
Yes,
kay
Mr.
Kerwin. Kerwin, ano bang negosyo ng pamilya nyo sa Albuera?
May hotel po kami, Mr. Chair.
Hotel.
Hotel po.
Pwede bang sa inyo yan? Sa inyo yan? Kayo may-ari mismo ng hotel? O may
Opo.
pamilya nyo lang? O may
Pamilya,
mga kasosyo
pamilya.
kayo?
Pamilya namin po.
Pamilya lang. Sige. Colonel Marcos is ready here.